Hi everyone, welcome to UCL Fantasy Football Team Selection and Captaincy Picks for Game Week 3. Enjoy and do well to subscribe also. So before we start our main video, we want to look at top performers from this week's UCL. Yeah. So number one on the list, we have Marcus Rashford, the NBA winner of course. Yes, Marcus Rashford scored a hat-trick against RB Leipzig as a substitute. So he makes it to the number one of the list. Next, we have Duvan Zapata, who also scored 2 as Ajax Amsterdam and Atlanta drew 2-2. We have on the list again João Felix. João Felix scored 2 of those 3 goals Atletico Madrid scored against Lokomotiv Moscow. A thrilling performance by the youngster. And last on the list, PSG UCL debutant Moiskin also had 2 goals to his name in their game. Yeah. Here is our top 4 for his pick for Game Week 3. Enjoy. Number 1 on the list, we have Lionel Messi. And here he starts to look upon to for Game Week 3. After a sensational performance against Juventus at the J Arena, Lionel Messi comes up against Dynamo Kiev, a weaker opponent at the Camp Nou, and he will be expected to deliver, including in your team. Next on the list, we have Norwegian sensation Erling Braut Haaland, and here he starts to look upon to in Game Week 3. Haaland also comes up against a weaker opponent in Club Brugge, and you would want to include him in your team. Next on the list, we have Timothy Werner, and here he starts to look upon to for Game Week 3. Timo Werner comes up against Star Wayne in his next fixture. He was on the score sheet for Chelsea against Cuban Krasnodar, and he will be expected to be scoring goals against Star Wayne. You can make him an option in your team. Lassina Touare from Ajax Amsterdam is our last forward projection for this game week. The Ajax youngster comes up against a relatively weaker opponent, FC Midfield, and looking at his form in the Eredivisie, he will be expected to score goals. He is an option for this game week. And now to our top 4 midfield choices for this game week. Enjoy. Marcus Rashford is our number 1 pick for the midfield options for this game week, and here he starts coming up into this game week. The United talisman comes up against Istanbul Basaksehir in his next UCL fixture. After his sensational run in his first 2 fixtures, he is expected to be delivering in the 3rd fixture. Include him in your team. Next on the list, we have Kingsley Coman, and here he starts to look upon to in Game Week 3. Red Bull Salzburg is the next fixture for Kingsley Coman. And looking at his sensational run so far in the UCL, we are definitely gonna see brilliance from this young chap. Make way for him in your team. Next again on the list, we have Ansu Fati. Here he starts for Game Week 3. Ansu Fati comes up against Dynamo Kiev at the Stadio di Camp Nou in his next fixture. Looking at his performance so far in the UCL, we are expecting him to be making waves in that fixture. You can definitely make way for him in your team. Last on the list for our top midfield performers for this game week, we have for you João Felix. Here he starts to look upon to. João Felix comes up against Lokomotiv Moscow in his 3rd UCL fixture. He was the determining factor in their 2nd game against Red Bull Salzburg, and he is definitely going to be the top star in that game. You can make way for him. Finally, we bring to you 4 top defenders to pick for your Game Week 4 and a goalkeeper. Enjoy. Do well to subscribe as well. First on the list for our defense pick, we have Joshua Kimmich. Here are his stats to look up onto. Joshua Kimmich comes up against Red Bull Salzburg in the third UCL fixture, and you can definitely include him in your team because he was the match winner for Bayern in their second UCL fixture. Next up, we have Sergio Roberto. Here are his stats to look up onto for this game week. Sergio Roberto comes up against Dynamo Kiev in Barcelona's third UCL fixture. Barcelona will definitely keep a clean sheet, and having him in your team is definitely a good pick. Next up in our defensive pick, we have Kurt Zouma. Here are his stats to look up to. Chelsea's next fixture in this UCL Game Week 3 is against Stade Rennais. Brazilian international Diego Carlos of Sevilla is our last pick for Game Week 3. Diego Carlos comes up against porous Russian side Cuban Krasnodar. Our number one goalkeeper choice for this UCL Game Week 3 goes to Edouard Mendy. Edouard Mendy comes up against Stade Rennais, his former side, in his third UCL fixture. Put a comment under this video and let's get interactive. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Have a nice UCL week. Bye.